.7 WTCC. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Spoken Word radio broadcast. I'll be live with you on WTCC until 10 o'clock a.m. and then we'll continue with the extended version with our online audience. So do me a favor, tell a friend, tell somebody, tell everybody, tell your mom and them, Pookie and Ray and them, all them, that Bishop is on the air, and share this, okay? Yesterday, 46 minus 1 went full Ku Klux Klan, the Grand Wizard on us, and he decided he wanted to tweet out. He tweeted out a tweet of a white dude, Trump supporter, screaming, "White power!" And the thing is, the dude said it like, about 5 times. And of course, they should have known that people were going to point it out. And when they pointed it out, they came out with a statement and lied and said he didn't hear that. So, here's the deal. If dude did not hear that guy scream out white power, and I'm gonna play it for you, of course. But if he did not hear dude scream out white power, then he's got a hearing problem. Okay? He needs to have his hearing checked out, point blank, because dude only said it like 3 or 4 times at least. And nobody who saw that video could come to the conclusion that he didn't hear that. It just doesn't make any sense. So we're going to deal with that. And then what we're going to deal with is the dynamic of black power versus white power. Because in the wake of that, of course, every time 46 minus 1 does something crazy, what they do is they come back and they try to justify it, or they play that whataboutism card. And they're trying to say, well, if there's nothing wrong with saying black power, then why is it racist to say white power? This is really what they're out there saying. This is really the question that they're out there asking. How is it racist to say white power, but it's not racist to say black power? And of course, it's a dumb question. We all know it's a dumb question. They know it's a dumb question. It's nothing but some more gaslighting, at its worst. And we're going to deal with that. We're going to deal with that. And we're going to deal with that. And we're going to tell you exactly why is it wrong to say white power and why is it okay to say black power. So y'all stay with me. Tell somebody I'm on the air. Rep your city, rep your town, wherever you're chiming in from. Let me know where you're coming in from. Put it right there in the comments section. We'll give you some shout outs coming up. Remember 413-337-1867. Don't you dare touch that dial. Don't you start surfing. Don't you start doing none of that. We'll be right back. Talk to me, Daddy. Talk to me, Daddy. Talk to me, Daddy. Talk to me, Daddy.
A positive attitude says everything about you. Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. Every day you get up, you've been given a gift. That's why they call it the present. And it's up to you of how you unwrap it. So yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery, today is a gift. So don't let the pain of your past bleed into your present and poison your future. Stop replaying the movie. Why did this happen to me? When it's done with you, be done with it. If it seems like you keep running into pigeons, it's an indication that you're flying too low. So set your sights a little higher. Remember, eagles fly by themselves. If you can see the invisible, you can do the impossible. Allow your challenges to be a stepping stone to propel you into new possibilities. So be discontent with your past accomplishment. You're only as great as your last success. So maintain your hunger and your passion. Remember this, within every seed there is a tree. In every tree there is a forest. Who and what you were born into is simply the environment to prepare you for your ultimate purpose. It was not a setback, it was a setup. Your purpose and potential is bigger than your past pain or problem. Dedicate to you. Listen to your heart, don't let your mind forget you. Another talk, dedicate to you. Whatever you do is gonna surely come back to you. Successful people will do the things they hate to get the things they love. Much of life is about sacrifice. You gotta give up something to get something. Success is not about what you've accomplished, but it's what you have overcome. For it's the test that you pass in life which qualifies you for the next level. You have to be willing to face your challenges and overcome them. Most people drive 12,000 miles a year moving forward, but most accidents are caused when they move backwards. You gotta stay focused on what's ahead of you instead of what's behind you. It's your daily routine that determines your success or failure. Whatever you practice at is what you become great at. What's more important than being intelligent is having the right attitude. Respect costs you nothing, but it will cost you everything not to have it. So don't be too smart for your own good. Remember, a hard head makes a soft behind. What's more important than your five senses is common sense. The heart of a fool is in his mouth, but the heart of a wise man is in his character. So don't sweat the small things. The answer for a short temper is a long walk. Be slow to speak, quick to listen, and remember this: you haven't lived long enough to know everything. Your character is what matters most. Once you have been labeled with a bad reputation, it's hard for people to see you any other way. A good name is worth more than all the money in the world. Your life is broken up into three parts.
Yes, sir. A good name is worth more than all the money in the world. And it's hard to keep a good name when you're lying every day, which, of course, is what y'all's president does. Every single day of every single week of his entire life. It's like the song by LL Cool J. You're a liar. That's a lie. I mean, that's what that dude does, man. You know, he lies about the lies that he lies about. He even lied to his aunt when he went down south. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Oh my goodness. Let me see who we got up in the building. Who we got up in the building? Kang, what is happening with your cousin? Kristen Medina, Whitney from the Shy. Good morning, baby girl. Madam Sophie Jeffrey, the Reverend Catherine Cummings. How you doing? Barbara, good morning to you. Charles, good morning to you. Sister Long, good morning to you. Everybody who's up in here from anywhere. Once again, I need you to like. I need you to share. Share is important. Let somebody else know we're on the air. Like, share. comment, send those hearts up in the air from the scope or wherever you're from. And let's get into this conversation. Rep your city, rep your town. Let me know who's in here. Michael Moore, good morning to you. Peace to peace. Good morning to you as well. So listen. Um, 46 minus 1 got up on Sunday morning, you know, being the good Christian that he is. He didn't go to church as he never does. But hey, it is what it is. We know he wasn't a Christian when the evangelicals first started calling him a Christian, and I get it. The mark of a Christian is not just wrapped up in whether or where you go to church. He's just not a Christian because he ain't one, because his life is antithetical to everything that Christ taught. Period. But anyway, so he gets up on a Sunday morning and he tweets out approvingly a video of one of his supporters chanting, "White power! White power!" A racist slogan that's associated with white supremacists. We know what it is. Now they're pretending, now that he tweeted it out, they're pretending it's not a racist slogan. And we'll get into that. He later, under pressure, finally somebody got to this crazy guy, because usually when people talk to him, he doesn't listen. Somebody got to him and convinced him, look, dude, man, you got enough problems with people saying you're racist in the first place. That tweet isn't helping. So he deleted the tweet. He didn't apologize. He didn't say, "I'm sorry." Nothing like that. He just deleted the tweet. And then the White House issued a statement on his behalf. Not his statement. They issued a statement on his behalf, having the unmitigated gall, the caucasity, to say that this man never heard that voice on the radio saying white power. He never heard it. That's why, he tweeted it. I mean, he never heard it. He didn't hear it. So you can't blame the man. He's 74 years old, man. Something wrong with his hearing or something like that. He didn't have his hearing aid turned all the way up or something, I mean, what you gonna do about that? Innocent mistake, right? Right, y'all? So those, I know most of my trolls hang around on Periscope. So for those trolls that are hanging around on Periscope, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play the video, because see, Trump and his cronies, they have the audacity to think that everybody is just stupid. I mean, that's what they think. They think everybody is stupid. And everybody ain't stupid. Everybody is not stupid. So listen, he's got this thing where he's always telling his followers that they should not look at what he did or said and believe it. I mean, not look at what he did or said that gets caught on video that they believe. Believe what he says he said. That's his MO. So I mean, he can get caught. He's the president. He's on video every day. The news is covering this guy's every move. So he'll be caught red-handed saying something racist, doing something crazy, and then will have the nerve to say, "I didn't do that. I didn't say that. I didn't do what you saw me do, and I didn't say what you heard me say. So don't believe the fake news. Believe what I said I said." And this is how ignorant his followers are. His followers are just crazy enough to go ahead and believe what he says. And then they start arguing with the rest of the world and telling us, well, that's not what he said at all. He didn't say that. He didn't say very fine people. He didn't say that. He didn't mock the disabled reporter. He didn't do that. You know, and it's like, are these people under some kind of mind control that something is in their face plain as day, and they continue to deny that it happened because he said it didn't happen after they saw it happen? So once again, you know, they didn't deny it happened this time. This time they just said, well, you know, he didn't know. You know, he didn't hear it say white power. Now, it was taken at the Villages. The Villages is a Florida retirement community, and it showed two opposing demonstrations between Trump supporters and Trump opponents. And I mean, they get a little racy with their language. Um, um, and it's funny because, man, you know, you see these two factions of old white people, I mean, really passionately going at each other about this guy. And the, you know, the Trump opponents are out there letting them know exactly what they feel about Trump, and the Trump supporters, you know, are giving it to him back. But it's funny seeing all these old white people arguing with each other. And so, what Trump tweets with the video, he says, "Thank you to the great people of the Villages." To the great people of the Villages. Now, it's only moments into the video, okay, that the man driving the golf cart who's displaying a pro-Trump sign shouts white power like 3 times, at least 3 times. The anti-Trump supporters are yelling that they're Nazis and other profanities at them. But there's no question that Trump should not have retweeted that. And there's no question that he heard what was said. So let me play it for you, and then we'll come back. And if you still believe there's no way in the world that this guy, there's just no way that he heard it. If you still believe that there's no way that he heard it, then what we're going to do is we're going to try to see if we can get you some medical help. You know, we're gonna try to see if we can get you some medical assistance, because you need some help. You really do. You need some help. If you're still running around saying that this guy didn't say what everybody heard him say, then my friend, you have a problem. You are in what my friend Dr. Freddie Haynes said. He said you live in the 51st state, which is the state of denial. Okay, the state of denial. That's exactly where you are, and we need to get you out of that. So let's watch this thing, and you tell me what this man said, or if you heard him say it. Okay. We would start having some technical difficulties with this page the minute I try to play it for you guys. That's just like Mr. Murphy. So let me take that out the stream, and we're gonna come back with it. Let me get it out the stream. Give me a moment. Work this thing out. Let me give you Let me give you one of my son's songs real quick. Give you something to bump to, and then we'll come back. I'm gonna play that thing there, man. I promise you, I'm gonna play it. They're not gonna stop me from playing that one. Let's see what I can get on here. Here we go. Stay with me.
Yeah. This one is for all the brothers that passed, but more particularly one because it affected me drastically. I remember my sister gave me the call and I was in awe. Matter of fact, it felt the farthest from reality. She seen somebody post RIP with his name and I said I doubt it's the same friend I had since the 7th grade. She said I'ma call his sister and double check and call me back. Said he hanged himself in his room and had been there for days. Initially it didn't hit me, then it clicked and I remembered that I hadn't seen or heard from the homie all week. Wish she had told me what had him feeling lonely and weak. I guess everybody got demons we don't even speak of. Cause I was with him exactly a week before the call. Just under 20, he couldn't even purchase alcohol. My best friend for like 6 or 7 years. I'm not ashamed to say I shedded plenty tears, but it was hard. He was somebody I had plenty memories with. The first person I ever burned any trees with. The worst feeling is knowing that you would leave us in all this grievance without a reason. One of the first people to ever believe in me. When it came down to it, you knew you could call me if you needed me. Cause that information I wouldn't have ever imagined. It's sad thinking about it. I ain't happy that it happened, but it made me. There was plenty times when I thought that it would drive me crazy. But looking back on it now, I see all the drive that it gave me. I learned more about why I am who I am on a daily. I know it may sound crazy, but I'm glad that it made me. Yeah, was born the son of a pastor. He was who I was named after. Matter of fact, I even got some of his characteristics. Both of us got messages for the people. I just do mine with rhythm on beat. He do his on the pulpit with scriptures. Well connected, respected in the community. Ever since I was little, I felt like there was some pressure on me. It started off with little stuff like when my folk brought us to church and then they forced us to get up and say a testimony. Didn't know that I had to watch how I acted in public. Cause people wouldn't hesitate to put that in discussion. Chatting like, isn't that the pastor's kid? I'm like, yeah, that's me. But please don't expect me to be exactly like my daddy. Don't discredit my family for how I am. I'm not a little kid no more, I'm now a man. And I ain't pointing fingers, I'm not trying to do no blaming at all. When it comes to how I came up, I wouldn't change it at all. Because it made me. There was plenty times when I thought that it would drive me crazy. But looking back on it now, I see all the drive that it gave me. I learned more about why I am who I am on the daily. I know it may sound crazy, but I'm glad that it made me. Yeah, glad that it made me. Yeah, glad that it made me. Looking back on it now, I see all the drive that it gave me. So glad that it made me. Yeah, baby. Yeah, it made me. No, it may sound crazy. Glad that it made me.
Think that when his nation is burning from the East Coast to the West Coast, that he would get up and try to unite people, try to bring people together,
All right.
try to condemn the social
I'm
injustice that brought us to this point. But no, he wants to thugify black folk.
I think I might have a solution.
When white folk came to Michigan,
We're having some technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on for some reason. And those who are on Facebook, let me know whether or not y'all are seeing my page clearly enough, because the video I was trying to pull is on my page, and for some reason, I keep getting error messages trying to go to my own page, which is kind of weird, you know. So I don't know if all of a sudden uh, they're trying to stop my streams or what. But we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done. So I need y'all to check this out. Let's go with it one more again and see if we can make this happen, and play this video so y'all can see exactly why this man is a liar.
Where's your white hood? White power. There you go, white power.
Trump. Trump. Oh, listen to your president if you want nasty language, you idiot.
Officer! They got a woman. You big boy!
So come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. The dude at the beginning of the video in the golf cart screamed white power like 3 times at the beginning of the video. Now can you tell me in good conscience, even if you're a Trump supporter, that you didn't hear that? Can you tell me in good conscience? You ain't hear that man say white power. Come on, man. Let's be serious. Even Tim Scott, who's used to cooning, Tim the Coon Scott, South Carolina senator, the only black person in the U.S. Senate, said that that it was reprehensible, that it was indefensible what Trump did. Now this is Tim Scott, okay? This is Mr. Step and Fetch It himself. I guess he had no choice but to say it, for that. I guess even cooning has its limits. So even the Coon Scott, said, that's a little bit too much, Trump. You can't be tweeting videos that say white power. When you got coons who normally bend over backwards to agree with everything you say, disagreeing, then you got a problem there. And so shortly after he deleted it, Judd Deere, White House spokesperson, he said that Trump is a big fan of the villages, and he did not hear the one statement made on the video. So out of everything else that they were saying to each other on that video, the only thing you didn't hear was white power, which was said 3 times. And then even the non-Trump supporter repeated it after, incredulously. White power, really? Did you hear that? All that's on the video. All of that is on there. But this dude, he didn't hear that one phrase. And this is why you can't trust this whole administration. You already know Trump's a liar, but everybody around him are liars and are willing to lie to cover his lies. John Deere knows doggone well Trump heard what was said. Judd Deere, rather. He knows exactly what was said, and he knows Trump heard it. But it's my job. My job is to cover his behind, and I'm going to say he didn't hear it, even though I know it's a lie. Even though I heard it 3 times, and the 4th time when the other guy repeated it. And nobody could have watched the video and not heard it. So, but I'm going to say Trump didn't hear it. Watch the whole 2-minute video, but he didn't hear white power, white power, white power. Oh my goodness, the white power. Did you hear him say that? He didn't hear that part. Everything else he heard, he just didn't hear that part. But not only are they claiming he didn't hear it, he knows it was said. Let's pretend. Let's pretend. You know, Mr. 74-year-old didn't have his hearing aid in, and he didn't hear it or whatever. They told him what was said. He deleted the tweet. He knows what was said. Has he condemned it? No. He didn't condemn his supporters' comment. Trump shirt, Trump signs on the golf cart, all of that. He didn't condemn it. Joe Biden said that he has picked a side, the side of white supremacy, and I'm no Joe Biden fan, but he's right. He's always been on the side of white supremacy, as has Joe. So it's kind of comical watching two guys who both have worked to the detriment of black people battle each other over that issue. But Trump's decision to highlight a video featuring a racist slogan not only is reprehensible, but the timing of it comes in the midst of a national reckoning over race following the murders of George Floyd and other Black Americans. It comes in the middle of this reckoning and protests against police brutalities and bias in law enforcement that have been happening all over the country. There's also been a push to remove Confederate monuments and to rename military bases that honor figures who fought in the Civil War against the Union. Trump has opposed those efforts. And people always, what has he ever done as racist? He's opposing efforts to remove Confederate monuments. The Confederacy, represents the support of slavery. Trump is defending it as our heritage. So here's a guy who's defending the symbols of slavery, racism, and oppression. He's tweeting out videos of his supporters yelling white power, and then his people are saying, show us how he's racist. What has he ever done that's racist? I mean, the cognitive dissonance is mind-boggling. I mean, he's been directing his re-election message at the same group of supposedly disaffected white voters who backed him 4 years ago. And so what he's doing, once again, is stoking racial divisions in the country at a time where racial divisions and tensions are already high. He's played into the anti-immigrant anxieties, falsely claiming that people who settled in this country commit crimes at a greater rate. I mean, he's just, it's the same playbook that he used in 2016. And his whole tenure in office has emboldened white supremacists and nationalists, alt-right white hate groups. They've embraced him because he speaks their language. You know, you can go back to 2017 in Charlottesville between white nationalists and counter protesters, where he talked about very fine people on both sides. It's the same thing. Sherilyn Ifill said on Face the Nation that this really is not about the president taking it down. This is about the judgment of the president in putting it up. It's not about him removing the tweet. It's about his lack of judgment in putting it up in the first place. And it wasn't really a lack of judgment because he did it on purpose. It's about what he believes. It's about what he believes and what he supports. And so we are engaged in this national conversation on race. Him tweeting out white power and white folks having the nerve to ask the question, why is white power racist and black power not racist? Well, the first thing I need y'all to do, I need y'all to do some reading. So I'm going to assign y'all some reading, and hopefully it'll help y'all if y'all can read, because I understand, and forgive me, I wasn't being facetious when I said I was going to assign y'all some reading. I'm not trying to be offensive to those of you Trump supporters who can't read, because I understand that that's quite a few of you. So maybe you can get somebody to read it to you. Okay. Whatever the case may be. Get this book by Robin DiAngelo entitled White Fragility. Why is it so hard for white people to talk about racism? Once again, it's Robin DiAngelo. The book is called White Fragility. Why is it so hard for white people to talk about racism? I implore you, especially if you're white, to read this book. See, when you look at the situation among whites, even today, when you should have a good understanding of why black folks are angry, when you should have a grasp on the history of America and the 400 years of oppression, the fact that you still don't is problematic. When you're black in America, your knowledge of white people and the intricacies, the contradictions, the double standards of racism and white supremacy is an intimate knowledge. We're intimately involved with you at a high level regarding our existence in this nation. We understand white people way better than you understand black people. We understand your intricacies, your contradictions, your double standards. We get all of that. We get all of that. We know y'all very well. We've had to know you all very well. We've had no choice but to know you. We've got to know you to survive you. That's the reality. That's the reality. DiAngelo's book will help you learn yourself, because you're once again in what Dr. Freddie Haynes said, that 51st state, the state of denial. You're in the state of denial about who you are. Read the book, because it will force you to see and understand how white supremacy permeates your life. It'll help you understand and recognize how you perpetuate it unconsciously. And more importantly, it'll show you what you can do to change yourself and to help dismantle this pernicious racist system in America. I like the book because it demolishes all of the excuses, all of the defenses that white people use to try to absolve themselves of any responsibility when confronted with racism. Why they always pull out, you're playing the race card, you're a race baiter, you're a race hustler. Their responses is just like a script. She deals with all of their responses, all of the predictable ways that they will react when you talk about racism, what they're going to say, what they're going to do whenever the topic of race comes up. And she argues that white Americans view racism as an individual moral failing instead of the waste product of a system that prioritizes white people and whose levers are consistently and unconsciously manipulated by white people. Like when the lady was in Central Park saying, I'm going to call the police and I'm going to tell them that a black man is threatening me. There's a white person pulling on the levers of a racist system that she knows is going to prioritize her over the black man that wasn't bothering her. She's going to pull the lever. White folks do it all the time. Get the book, White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo, and read it. Okay, read it. And so the question is, well, Bishop, or they put Bishop in quotations as if because they're mad with me because I speak the truth about white supremacy that I'm not a bishop because they say so. So I got to be fake. But anyway, well, Bishop, how come it's okay to say black power, but white power is racist. Y'all already know. I really don't even have to tell y'all why. You already know it. But since you want to play the game, since you want to pretend like you don't know, I'll play. I'll play. Now I'll play white power for 500, Alex. Yeah. Let's play the game. White power is a white supremacist slogan. It's designated to mimic the Black Power slogan that was used by African Americans starting in the 60s and the 70s. It's mimicking Black Power. And that's what white folks, that's what y'all do. We come up with something for the purpose of empowering Black people who are living in a racist, white supremacist America. And what you do is you always try to counter that message of empowerment. So we say Black power, which means one thing, and you come out with white power, which means something completely different. We say Black lives matter, and you come out with all lives matter or blue lives matter, which means something completely different. You always try to counter our attempts at empowering ourselves. It's commonly used and shouted at white supremacist events, Klan rallies. It's like a rallying cry. It's a rallying cry. White power represents lynching, murder of Black people. It represents castigating Jewish people, other non-white people. It represents slavery and Jim Crow and brutalization and subjugation and dehumanization. All of that is wrapped up into the white power slogan. And Trump sharing that video was not a mistake. He finds himself trailing Joe Biden by up to 14 points. And what he's doing, he's going back to the success of his 2016 campaign playbook, where he trafficked in bigotry to divide Americans. We saw it with his baseless claim that Mexico was sending rapists. He called for a total and complete ban on Muslims to America. He retweeted open white supremacists, such as the one with the name White Genocide, which is another white supremacist rallying cry. It's not even a dog whistle anymore. It's a full-blown bullhorn. And so he's basically trying to use the same strategy he used in 2016 in 2020, regardless of the fact that America again has been reckoning over the past few weeks with systemic racism. He's ignoring the nationwide protests in support of Black Lives Matter, in support of calling for justice against the backdrop of the extrajudicial murder of Black people. He's responded by moving in the opposite direction. He's defended the U.S. military bases named after Confederate military leaders who went to war to preserve slavery, which is the ultimate example of white supremacy. I mean, he's opposed to tearing down statues. He the other day retweeted all of these most wanted posters of those who vandalized the Andrew Jackson monument. He never retweeted a most wanted poster of a white supremacist or some white boy who was guilty of a mass shooting, but defaced the statue of a slave-owning, genocidal white supremacist who murdered Native Americans, and that's a problem. We got to go after them and give them 10 years in federal prison. This is what white power means. Don't mess with our statues. Don't mess with our monuments. Don't you mess with white supremacy. White power. This is what Trump means by that. This is what he means. Last Saturday when he gave that speech at that empty rally, 2-hour speech in Tulsa, he slammed what he called the unhinged left-wing mob that was trying to vandalize our history and desecrate our monuments, our beautiful monuments. But at no time did he mention George Floyd or Black Lives Matter. His few references to race included boasting that he's done more for the black community, which is bogus. I mean, this guy is a Neanderthal. He refuses to evolve. I mean, even the Mississippi state legislature voted this weekend to remove the Confederate symbol from its state flag. Now, Mississippi has to do a lot more than remove symbolism. But even it at least did that. But 46 minus 1, just like the statues that were built to honor Confederate leaders, he's locked forever in the mold that his father made him in. His father, the Klansman, made him in the mold of a virulent white supremacist. He is, in my opinion, arguably the most visible symbol of white supremacy in America. You know something is wrong in America when the most visible symbol of white supremacy is its president. 413-337-1867. Opening up the phone lines. Those of you who want to call in and discuss the topic. So white power, my brothers and my sisters, in essence, is about white supremacy. It's about racism. It's about lynching. It's about murder. It's about dehumanization. It's about subjugation. It's about oppression. It's about all of those things. That's what white power is about. That's why tweeting, saying, screaming, yelling, writing, posting white power is racist. And I'll tell you in a moment, I got this left on WTCC. I'll tell you in a moment why black power is not racist. Because that's the question you all want to know. Why is white power racist and black power not racist? I detailed, I outlined, I highlighted, I gave you all of the reasons and the rationalizations as to why white power is racist. Now, let's talk about black power. Let's talk about black power. Because black power is completely different. Let me take this call first. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hello, how you doing, bitch?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I heard you talk about the state flag in Mississippi. I happen to be in Mississippi right now.
Yes, sir.
It is some sick people in the state of Mississippi today. But I must say that you were correct about what you said. You just removed the symbolism because that didn't really change the position of the people's minds.
Right.
Basically what happened was that since the COVID-19 came out, a lot of businesses are losing money, and they couldn't afford, because there ain't no tax revenue coming in for these baseball tournaments, and these possibly lose the money from the football games and baseball games. And these companies not coming to Mississippi. Right now, Mississippi needed everything that it could get. It had changed now. I don't want nobody to think that really America has changed. It's the same book, just off in a different boat.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. And Mississippi's got a long way to go.
Yeah, we got a long way to go. But one thing I got to say about Mr. Trump that I do like about Trump.
Okay.
And I'm not a Trump fan, but one thing I do like about him, Mr. Trump does not use token people too much. He has gave out a whole lot of Negro citizenship cards. A lot of people have found out that they black that thought they was something else in America. So I gotta say that I do like that about him.
Well, he is open. He is open and honest about his bigotry. And he's in your face with it. That's a fact.
Right.
That's a fact. I appreciate you. Appreciate your call.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Bishop. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm fine, sir. I just want to briefly shed light on Elijah McClain. I tuned in late. Did you already discuss that?
No, I didn't.
The thing I find so interesting about this situation, it happened in Aurora, Colorado.
Right. And
you have a white man who went into a movie theater, a Batman movie, and shot up a bunch of people.
Killed 12 and injured 70.
And not just that, wired his home residence, so whoever went in there would have got blown up to death. But the point I'm trying to make is, here you have an innocent black man walking home that was beat up, injected, went into a coma and died, and here you have a white man and that killed a bunch of people that wasn't even touched, not a scratch on him.
Not a scratch. Not a scratch on him. He had grenades. He had military combat gear. He had automatic weapons. His car was an arsenal, and he got arrested without incident.
Yeah, and the thing that really is upsetting to me, they told Elijah that you're being suspicious. He said, I'm walking home. If you're looking in car windows, looking through house windows, or acting around, that's being suspicious. He wasn't doing anything. This man died for nothing. And it happened in the same town where this man went into the theater and killed all those people and was not rushed up at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Great point. Appreciate your call. Thank you for your call. You too. 413-337-1867. Yeah, that happened in Aurora, Colorado. You can be white and walk into a movie theater and kill people, and injure people, and get arrested without incident. You can be black and be innocent and wind up being choked to death. That's what's happening in America. That's why America is protesting. That's why America is speaking out. And in the middle of that, its president is tweeting out white power. It's absolutely insane. It's insane. It's insane. Oh boy. That's what we're dealing with in 2020 in America. My goodness. Good morning, caller.
Yes, could you give me the name of that book again and spell out the last name?
D'Angelo is the last name, Diangelo. And the name of the book is White Fragility. White Fragility.
Could you spell fragility?
Fragility.
Okay, thanks a lot.
You're welcome. 413-337-1867. You need to get that book. You need to get White Fragility. Y'all need it. You need it in your library. I'm telling you. Especially white folks. Y'all need that book really bad. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Bishop. My name's DeAndre. I'm calling from Aurora, Colorado. How you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing? So you're calling right from Aurora.
Yes.
Okay, D'Angelo, can I put you on hold 1 second and let me sign off of one radio program, and I'll come right back to your call.
It's DeAndre. Yes.
DeAndre. Okay, coming right back to you. To those who are listening on WTCC, as always, it is always my pleasure to be with you. And listen, you don't want to miss this coming Wednesday at 9 p.m. The Bishop's Barbecue is going to be live. Listen, I got Tim Wise, I got Alyssa Milano, I got Reverend Nelson Rivers, I got Pastor Michael McBride. We're going to be streaming live. Listen, there's no raisins in the potato salad, just truth served hot off the grill. Until the next time I talk to you and you talk to me, always remember, God loves you, and so do I.
You've got a responsibility to go back to Lodabar. Your work's not done just because you made it to the palace. Bless the name of the Lord. But you've got a responsibility to help somebody else make it across. Thank you, Jesus. Don't pull up the ladder because you're
all right.
Don't blow up the
extended version. I had to sign off with WTCC, and I'm back on with the extended version, my extended audience. I got DeAndre on the line from Aurora, Colorado. Good morning, sir. You're on the air.
Good morning. It's an honor and pleasure to talk to you, sir. I follow you on social media, and I think you're doing a stand-up job. I think you bring a fresh and honest perspective to what's going on. I just moved to Aurora in March from Seattle.
Okay.
New job. And this wasn't even talked about before George Floyd. So George Floyd has done a lot for Black people. Unknowingly, looking at now, so I've done research on it, and looking at NBC had this one video that just broke down the whole thing and showed all the body cam. And this would be washed away. This would be a non-issue. The cops will remain on their job, doing their thing. If there wasn't a video. If it wasn't for a video.
Yes, sir.
And now in the video, you're going to see the one thing that the cops are going to hold on to is that this kid was, introvert, violinist. The most disturbing part was the video when he kept talking to them. I mean, it's almost like they won't even. They don't care. They just want to their job is, and I call them the slave patrol. And that's the mentality that's been passed on.
Well, that's their antecedents. The slave patrols are the ancestors of modern day law enforcement.
Exactly, and that mentality and that culture has been passed down from generation to generation. And now with the body cams, think how many times this stuff has happened without body cams, without video. And now that we have this technology, and sometimes we get to see it, but in Louisville they don't even turn their body cams on. This time is a great time to really everybody should keep protesting. And and peaceful protesting because we don't want to. We want to make our point matter because they can't. They're not shutting down anymore. This all lives matter. It's dying. The whole concept is becoming, a racist outcry instead of, trying to shut up the movement. But it's not being shut. And I congratulate these young people for keeping it going and doing it. And we need to support it. We need to get out there because I think states like Georgia and all the states that don't have voting by mail, there's voter suppression. I think that's the number one priority for people in this country right now. I think, and then once you start changing these laws, changing requirements, and police officers are being held accountable now. And lawmakers are being held accountable now. Everybody's trying, and we need to keep that pressure on, sir. I really think that's what's going on in this whole thing. If you're looking at it from the macro, you got to keep this pressure. Pressure works. This is telling me pressure works, sir. Pressure works.
Yes, sir.
If we sit back and be docile, and continue to let these people do what they want to do, it's a war that I didn't know we were in. I've been doing a lot of research, a lot of reading over this past 3 years. If you read books like The Invention of White People, all this stuff, this whole white supremacy, this system is based on profit and social control, with white supremacy being the main point. They're fighting off extinction. They're fighting. They want power to keep control over people. And then what you got, and I saw your post yesterday about the threats you received. Now those are the non-factor people who just, those are empty cans. With folks used to say empty can make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
But now we're getting to the corporations. We're getting to the governments. We're getting to people that matter. Those people, those are just, people that just trying to defend us of white supremacy. And I don't you feel that right now, sir? Am I the only one feeling this? Is that what's your?
Oh yeah, well they're when you say pressure works, I mean, listen, when you have corporations that are voluntarily making overtures to the black community, when you got Pepsi and all of these others, talking about it believes that Black Lives Matter, and you literally have these corporations that are now writing multi-million-dollar checks towards efforts to bring about some semblance of justice. It says that the pressure that America is facing right now is moving the needle somewhat. There's of course a long way to go, and we have to wait and see how long these overtures are going to be made and if they're going to be sustained, because there are many who will act in the moment, but they will not stay for the long-term movement. And so what you got to be careful of is when these organizations are feeling altruistic, because a lot of times what happens is white folks who don't consider themselves racist. And see, I don't believe in not racist. You're either racist or you're anti-racist. I mean, you either perpetuate and are in support of racism, or you're against racism actively. There's just no neutral place of not racist. And so these neutral folks, these so-called not racist folks, want to feel good about being not racist. So they're willing to write a check, and they want to be able to check off a box that, okay, when George Floyd stuff was happening, we wrote a check to this Negro organization, or we did this, or we did that. We checked that box off, and we can keep on living in our white privilege bubble. And that's what we got to watch out for. People who are just trying to seem altruistic, but really have no vested interest in actually dismantling white supremacy.
And white supremacy is the problem. And, looking at that book, The Invention of White People, the history of white people, those lessons that were never taught to because, you know, I learned more about the real true history over the past 10 years. I'm 50 years old. I've learned more about history in the past 10 years because of the internet and, you know, real research, not just what somebody told me, through reading and research, than I've ever heard the prior 40 years of my life. And it was designed to psychological effects of white supremacy. Now we have to, you know, I refer to it right now. It's a battle between white people and non-white.
Yeah.
Now you got if you're white, if you call yourself white, so what they've been doing is, I'm a white person, but I'm not associated with all of the history. No. White people was invented. There's no scientific evidence about white people. So if you claim to be a white person, you are racist. It's factual. It's not a knee-jerk, inflammatory or trying to talk about your opinion. That's a fact. There's no scientific evidence about white people. It was made up, and then you consider yourself a part of that, but then you want to just claim the good side, the privileged side. Oh, that's not me. I didn't have slaves. I didn't do this or do that. But so they are just claiming the good parts, being like, man, you got your people that are threatening you or sending you stuff. Those are white people. You know, those are white. I'm white, and I believe in white, and I'm white. I'm whitey, white. But you got the other ones who are silent. You get the other ones who are silent, but they're still associating themselves by calling themselves white. Now, I went to private schools, and white people don't even call themselves white people. They only use white people against non-whites, and not just blacks. And blacks got to realize that if they call what they got derogatory names for every other ethnic culture out there. So I know black people want to identify with each other. You know, we have skin color and then, you know, our situation, but for the purpose of this coming up electoral process, everything else, we got to consider ourselves white people versus non-white. And pretty soon, the non-whites are going to be the majority of this country.
Yeah, well, that's what they're nervous about. That's what they're nervous about. The browning of America.
They're fighting off extinction, and white people don't know that. Well, why do they act like that? Why are they like they're fighting off extinction? My hero, Dr. Frances Cress Wilson. Oh my God, you're familiar with her, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, she lays it out. She lays it out perfectly, and it's just that we got to keep, and we got to embrace people that are non-white, that are we got to embrace them. We got to bring them along in this process. It's not they have problems too. They have with white supremacy. They've been discriminated against also. Maybe not as bad as us, but we got to look at this from the macro instead of the micro, and don't make this just about us. But we've been treated the worst. There's no doubt. But moving forward and to really gain political momentum and power, you have to shift the dynamic and shift the tone. I really appreciate you talking to you, brother, and I'm continue to follow you and continue doing what you do, brother. You inspire a lot of people.
Thank you, sir.
All glory to God.
All right. You take care. All right. 413-337-1867 is the number here. For those who want to call in on the program. So Black Power, let me get back into that because I can't close out the program until I give you this dynamic of Black Power. But see, y'all gonna keep calling and not gonna let me get it in. But we gonna see. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hello, Bishop Swan.
How you doing?
Hey, man, listen, I'm enjoying your program today, and being by it. enjoying the information you're sharing. And I just want to speak to this white power dynamic and just kind of remind people who are listening that we sing this exemplified when it comes to number 46 minus 1, calling NFL players and sending the message to NFL owners to do SOBs off the field, those who are kneeling in protest of injustice. So we kneel, we aggravate them. We protest, we aggravate them. We can't go job, we can't get the job, we can't go get an education. And that's simply because of the oppression and the white privilege attitude and demeanor that they have exemplified for more than 401 years in our country. And we as a people, like you, Bishop, who have taken the initiative to educate our people, to broaden our horizon of thinking, to see beyond the fluff. And there are many people who are talking about one way or the other with Biden or Trump. Biden is just the lesser of the two evils, as it relates to what has taken place throughout the years of his tenure of public service.
Yeah.
But I think we have to be aware that also, this white power video or display that was posted by the president is a declaration of who he really is.
Yeah.
And who he's really appealing to. And if we're asleep, then the George Floyds, Ahmaud Arbery, and then Breonna Taylor and Trayvon Martin, all like Michael Brown, they die in vain if we don't continue to make noise, to press those who are in authority, those who own major corporations, where we spend our money. And I'd just like to talk to you, just have you comment on as it relates to some type of organization as it relates to a boycott of major corporations and businesses been organized. And if we don't see the movement, really it should be taking place now.
Yeah.
As it relates to where we spend our dollars and spend our money.
The ultimate way to bring institution, country, system is to hit it in the book. Dr. King understood that people need back to the roots of the modern civil rights movement that started with Black people telling the company in Montgomery after Parks refused to give up her seat and was arrested, and I'm not going to ride your bus. And for 381 days, this is what catapulted Martin Luther King Jr. onto the scene as a national six leader, because he led Montgomery Improvement Association, which led boycott for 381 days. And when the Montgomery Bus Company changed rules and stopped sending Blacks to the back of the bus, it wasn't because white folk got a conscience. It because they decided that they needed to be altruistic. It was they changed their mind and started loving Black people. It was because they were nearly bankrupt. It was because they hit them in the pocket and took millions of dollars away from them for off that bus for over a year, and then welcomed them back, not with open arms. They welcomed their money onto that bus. And so the America spends $1.3 trillion in expendable income every. If we were a country, we'd be the 12th richest country in the world. Okay, that is the power of our dollar. If we could ever, in a concerted effort, direct our dollars away from institutions, states, organizations, businesses that don't respect us, we would get their attention far quicker than any protest or any other type civil action of disobedience that we could ever partake in. Absolutely, it would get their attention quick. That's the reason why I believe these corporations are now stepping up, right, making declarations, because they are looking at the long game. And the long game is, yeah, these black folk out here, they're upset right now. If they ever decide they're going to stop spending money at certain places, then we're going to be hurt. We're going to proactively step to the plate and at least give the appearance on their side, because we don't want to be targeted for an economic boycott.
Well, you're absolutely absolutely correct, because what you stated, which is just brought back to my mind, the atrocity that took place in Oklahoma back in, I think, 1921, Black Wall Street, when it was destroyed, the black economy, black business owners, the black settlement, and those white supremacists who went and burned and looted and killed and mocked and raped for 2 or 3 days that black community. It was all about white power. It was all about gaining control. We couldn't stand to see the fact that blacks had a thriving economy in their neighborhoods, in the community. And that's devastating. They couldn't control it, so we'll kill it. It's the same principle today.
Yeah.
Same principle today. I don't really see anybody with good conscience. You can support Trump if you want to, if that's your deal or what have you. But anybody, if a former first lady could say, Barbara Bush could say, I don't know how any woman, a Republican, could say Trump. It should suggest to us that we are in America in the most devastating time as relates to leadership at the top of this country. We have no leadership. He has no clue. So he plays with his Twitter and he tweets the wrong messages, and then his surrogates go on television and say, "Oh, that's not what he said." That's not true. Are we supposed to be that dumb that when we see red, you tell it it's blue? It's crazy.
Yeah, you don't see what you see, and you don't hear what you hear. You only see what we tell you you saw, and you only hear what we tell you heard. That's some sick mind control. His followers are not political followers. They're followers. He is worse a Jim Jones or a David Koresh or any cult leader could have ever been.
Well, Bishop, I want to just raise this real quick, and I'm gonna get off so someone else can call. It's unique to me that the country is in a major health pandemic, disease pandemic, and the president is working to overturn Obamacare. Strip the Affordable Care Act at a time that many of those same people who are chanting white power where they need their health care.
Yeah. We'll see is another byproduct of white supremacy, because this is the signature legislative accomplishment of the nation's first black president, and they've been trying to dismantle Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, ever since it passed, because it got passed and sent into law by a black man. They don't care about benefits from the Affordable Care Act. They see the color of the face of the man who signed it into law. And so you have crazy white folks who follow Trump who benefit from the Affordable Care Act, not otherwise afford insurance or get health care for their pre-existing condition, who are will support it being dismantled simply their bigotry. That's the sickness of white supremacy and racism, where people will act against their own best interests in order to support a white supremacist ideology.
It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. Bishop, I thank you for taking my call, and I'm listening, and I appreciate your ministry and information you're giving us.
I appreciate you, man.
Keep doing what you're doing. All right, man. We'll be talking.
All right. Take care.